Governor General's Deputy, Mr. Michael Morton and Mrs. Morton, Dr. Timothy Harris, Prime Minister of the Federation of St. Christopher and Nevis, Premier Amri of Nevis, of course, and also Minister in St. Kitts, responsible for Social Security, et al. The Honorable Ian Patches Liebert, Minister of Public Infrastructure, etc. The Honorable, Right Honorable Dr. Denzil Douglas, Leader of the Opposition. I see His Excellency Sam Conda sitting on my right. And if I say other distinguished ladies and gentlemen, that would not be enough, so I have to say Mr. Bridgewater. And I also have to join with you, Pastor Hazel, in saying a special thank you, a special commendation to Mrs. Juliet James. Julia James, who I understand is whose brainchild this mission, this service that is celebrated for the past 14 anniversaries. It is her mission and her vision. And so I want to say a special commendation and thank you to you, Mrs. James. I have been fortunate to participate in at least 6 or 7 of these services over the years. And every time I come, I always marvel at the performance of Zach Nisbet and his team. And it's true. Zach, you are really doctor of the arts. And so I want to say a big thank you to you for celebrating with us this morning. Thank you. And to the kids, they've gone. Make sure you convey to them my appreciation. But I'm also very humbled when I see Errol Laws, Mr. Laws. Because I remember the days, whenever I see him, I remember him as a fast bowler. A lot of you don't know that. And I believe Patches might know that, because Patches used to play the game of cricket. And I believe Van Sammy might know that, because I believe Van Sammy may have given him some bat. But indeed, Errol Laws was a national cricketer. He played for St. Kitts and was one of St. Kitts' fast bowlers. So if you don't know that, you know that from now. And so I want to give you credit, because you see, I see are inspiring these young people. And it is part of what St. Kitts and Nevis began early in the 80s, when we put somebody like Melly Hewlett back in the schools to help train those children. Because almost 90% of the children today in St. Kitts and Nevis know something about music. And the arts is very important. It is okay for you to get 17 and 18 and 19 and 20 subjects, but the art is important. Learning the soft art is very important. And so I want to congratulate you for keeping the fire burning among those young children. They performed well. And I cannot say thank you to you for what you do for the children without saying to the parents of those children who give them the time to come and practice to be able to perform for us today. So to the parents, I say a big thank you as well. Now, Christus is always very inspiring whenever he preaches. And so Christus has given us again one more of his inspiring addresses. But I, as Minister of Health, just want to share with you the message which I actually have published in this document which you have. And so, if you will bear with me, I am grateful to be part of this annual Sanitation Workers Appreciation Day, to deliver brief remarks as the Minister of Health, as the Minister of Environmental Health, and as the Minister with responsibility for Solid Waste Management Corporation. I bring these remarks based on the theme, Good Sanitation, the Strength of the Nation. permit me to quote the theme verse, 2 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 1. From the King James Version, it reads, "Having therefore these promises, dearly beloved, let us cleanse ourselves from all filthiness of the flesh and spirit, perfecting holiness in the fear of God." And I want to further add that cleanliness is next to godliness. Amen. You who work in the Ministry of Health, Environmental Health, and the Solid Waste Management Corporation work tirelessly to ensure that our surrounding environment is clean and friendly to all of our citizens and even to visitors alike, visitors who attend this island paradise. For example, you at the Environmental Health Department play an important role in maintaining the aesthetic beauty. You also play a role in beautifying the island's main road, the school grounds, the parks, and also the beaches, which our tourism industry depends on very heavily. Each day, you give up your best to improve the atmosphere of our city areas and the outskirts on the countryside. Furthermore, you are the dedicated workers employed at the Solid Waste. You who are the dedicated workers employed at Solid Waste Management Corporation are the backbone of a healthy society and must be commended for performing at such high standards and for going the extra mile, especially during Christmas holidays and other holidays, because during that time you could be home with your family, but nevertheless you go out and you make sure that the place is clean. It must be noted that some people are too proud to be found doing this type of job. But without your work, our village, our city, and the nation will be a mountain of garbage and a sick society. Our children will have nowhere for recreation, and learning could be very difficult because of illness. It must be noted that according to Maslow, humans have a hierarchy of needs which must be met. And those fundamental needs, among those needs are the physiological needs and the safety needs. They include the need for clean air, water, food, which are the metabolic requirements for the survival of humans, animals as well. They include clothing and shelter, which provide the necessary protection for the elements. And I do not hesitate to include in those needs clean environment as a physiological need. And so I also include it as a safety need, which can be achieved from the results of your important work. I therefore applaud all health inspectors and sanitary officers found within the Department of Health who perform several duties. Due to your vigilance, the communities are kept clean and persons are fully informed about the need to keep the environment clean in order to reduce the risk of exposure to diseases and illnesses such as chikungunya, dengue, and Zika. I recall vividly many months ago the effects of chikungunya on our bodies. I too came down with chikungunya. And I can also recall calypsos and so on being sung about this chikungunya and the effects that it had on our bodies. So it is something that you are doing to help us from being sick when you do your work as cleaners. I therefore take the opportunity to express my sincere and profound appreciation to all of you who are sanitation workers for doing an excellent job, and I applaud the Apostolic Faith Mission for its efforts in bringing you the recognition that you deserve. Now, those of us who are cleaning, when we clean and we leave debris in areas which then gather water to breed mosquitoes, we will be doing a disservice to ourselves and to our nation. So when we clean, make sure that it is properly done, as you are doing now, or even better, so that we do not contribute to diseases in the Federation. And I, as minister, have pledged that I will do my best to ensure that those of you who contribute to this nation in the way you do and work for these institutions will find at the end of your tenure an opportunity to benefit from a pension program which I've started to work on, and trust that in 2017 we'll have a pension program for all of you in solid waste and the other institutions, because over the years you have been promised and it has not been done. This time it will be done. I thank you for listening.